Hey guys, welcome back to the McArthur Industries group. Today we're going to run through a bit of a lithium battery setup we've done on this Isuzu motorhome behind me. So we're going to go through in a few stages in the video, show you outside and inside, and run through why we did this for the customer and what we fitted. So if you're interested in anything like this, hopefully this video will show you what we do and you'll be interested to come in and have a chat to us. Alright, so here we've got mounted the 3000 watt Invicta inverter slash battery charger. So normally on a smaller inverter you've only got a couple of power points live and it's a struggle to try and get everything to operate. This one here, when you're connected to shore power, all the power points in the caravan will operate as normal, but then when you've got the shore power, this is also your 240 volt battery charger. So this can be up to a 150 amp charger. We got it set to 80. On this one you can actually program it all, program all the functions, your battery types and everything like that. So we've gone through and programmed this for the customer. And then when you switch it to inverter mode via the control panel, it'll just liven up all the power points as normal if you were connected to shore power, liven up your aircon, but you're drawing power from the batteries to try and operate that. So you can charge laptops, run your aircon, run your microwave off this as you would as if you were connected to shore power, but you're inverting the power instead. It's all automatic, so if you are on inverter power and you plug into 240 shore power, it'll automatically take over, start using shore power instead of your battery power, charge those batteries back up, and then as soon as you unplug it, it'll automatically switch back over. You can also have it off on the control panel, so if you plug in, it'll just do whatever it needs to do and sort itself out. Alright, so at the back of this cabinet here, you can see we've got two 200 amp hour Invicta lithium batteries. So we've gone that way. The customer needed more power. He's running a sleep apnea machine at night and a DC fridge, so we wanted that extra storage capacity for him. Each battery has its own app, so you can see the battery health and charge and all that. But we'll show you later in this video, we've also fitted a Bmv 712 battery monitor, so he can see his current draws and battery voltage and everything like that on that app, or the display. So we'll go through and we'll show you that in the video, but just wanted to show you the battery, the size of the batteries. Good thing about lithiums is they're nice and light compared to AGM batteries, so you save weight in your motorhome, and they are a compact battery as well. So you can see there, that's two 200 amp hour lithiums mounted. Stepping inside the motorhome, in this cabinet before, the customer had six 6 volt AGM batteries, an inverter and a couple of other things. Now what he had problems with is he had no storage. This is quite a deep cabinet and it was full of all his electrics before, taking up a lot of space, and it was a waste of space. The customers had to go and put a roof storage box to try and fit everything in 1 and 2. So we've ripped out all these batteries, neatened everything up, put the batteries and the inverter outside in that cabinet that you've seen earlier in this video, and it's given the customer back his storage room. But we've got a few things mounted in here. We've got the Invicta 85 amp solar regulator. So we'll show you later in the video, we've actually put 1200 watts of solar on the roof of this to be able to charge those two Invicta lithium batteries back up to 100% efficiently. And we've also got the Red Arc 50 amp BC-DC charger here. So while he's driving down the road, he's got the charge from the BC-DC charger, but he's also got the charge from the solar regulator if it's a sunny day. So with lithium batteries, they like to be charged at a higher charge rate. The reason we've gone for a separate BC-DC charger and a separate solar regulator is to allow for that higher current rate. You can wire the solar through the BC-DC charger itself, but you're only going to get what the BC-DC charger is capable of outputting. With two separate units, you can get up to 60 amps of charge from the solar panels on the roof, plus the 50 amps of charge from the BC-DC charger, giving that battery its sufficient charge that it needs to get it back up to its 100%. Okay, so you can see here, this is the control panel for the inverter I was talking about earlier. So it's just as simple as turning that on. We don't have any shore power connected at the moment, so the charger is not going to turn on, but on the left hand side here is telling you that you would have mains on if you were plugged into mains. And then it tells you your 3-stage of charge. So you've got your bulk, absorption and float charge on the 240 volt charger built into the inverter. And then on this side it's telling you that the inverter's on, so we've got all the power in the van, the microwave's powered up, everything there. It tells you whether it's overload, low battery, or whether it's turned off because it's over temp. So that control panel just shows you everything that you need to know with the inverter, tells you what function it's on, whether you're on shore power or whether you're inverting the power, and what stage your charge is on if you were plugged into 240. Now up here we've got the Victron Bmv 712 gauge that I was talking about. So this one here will go through, it's got a few settings we can set up, but one of the main ones here is your battery voltage, your current draw. So you can see at the moment we're going backwards 7 amps. We've got a few lights in the fridge running, and we're inside the shed, so we're not getting any solar charge at the moment. So that's saying -7 amps. Just gives you an idea of where you're at. If we were outside and that was charging, the positive current load into the battery would compensate for that battery drain. So if you were getting 50 amps of charge, but you had say 10 amps coming out, you would be showing 40 amps positive. So this is what the battery is receiving, this current draw here, or positive current. It shows you how much watts we're drawing at the moment, showing you how many amp hours we've drawn out of the battery. So we've got 400 amp hours of battery there. It's showing that with the loads that we've got on at the moment, we've drawn 141 amp hours out of the battery, and it's saying that we're at 67% charge. So as the battery charges, that percentage and that amp hour draw is going to go up, back up to the 100% mark. It's also saying that at the current draw that we've got, it's saying it's got 33 hours remaining. So if that was charging, it would say indefinitely there, because you'd be running off the solar itself, and as you're charging, this percentage and the amp hours in negative is going to go back up to that 100%. So it just shows you where your batteries are at, what your solar's doing, and then with that hour rating, you can see whether you need to start turning loads off or being more conservative with the power. With this van, the customer won't have an issue with the amount of capacity it's got with 400 amp hours of lithium and the solar on the roof. We've been testing this over the weekend with the fridge and a few lights on and the TV running, and it's been maintaining 100% the whole weekend. It's just dropped down now because we've brought it in the shed to do a reseal on the outside, so AllBrand's going to do some work on this van. So we brought it in the shed, and we're just trying to drain the batteries down now so we can really test the solar. But at the moment, everything's working as we would hope, and hopefully the customer's happy with it. Alright, so here we are up on the roof of the motorhome. As you can see, we've fitted 6 200-watt solar panels to this roof. We've tried to keep them as forward and as far out on the roof as possible to save room for things like the aerial. We've also saved room in the middle there in case the customer wanted to change the aircon or fit another solar panel or another hatch in the future. One request the customer had is he's got a ladder up here to access the roof, so he requested that he has a gap down the side and access to the roof to be able to get any leaves or sticks or anything off the roof that might come up here. So we've left him that gap there to walk through and left this area bare as an access to get onto the roof and get to things. So with this solar that's up here now, he won't have any problems operating that 85 amp solar regulator that we fitted, and it'll keep his batteries up to that 100%. Alright guys, back at the front of the motorhome here. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video today. If you have any questions, or you're interested in something you've seen in this video, or even you've got an AGM system or a lithium system in your van and you're feeling as though you don't have enough solar, or you're not running the things you need, or your batteries are going flat, come in and see us and we can do a few current tests and test your solar. Make sure that you've got the sufficient system to run everything that you need to run. If not, we can quote you on upgrading it or quote you on what we feel you need to make everything operate correctly.